Mabuhay, this is Bob from Love Beyond the Sea. What does it mean that love always trusts? I've been making some videos that I'm getting from articles from gotquestions.org about aspects of love. And I think if I'm going to be telling people that I want to love my wife and you should love your wife and let's learn about marriage to, let's say, a woman overseas like I did, then we have to know what we're talking about. A lot of people, they even, they might beat somebody or abuse them and yet maintain their love for them. So we really need to make sure we know what love means. Today it's going to be about trust, because the Bible does say, that love always trusts. So please subscribe here to Love Beyond the Sea. Can't promise to ever stop coughing, but I can promise to keep making videos to help men interested in marriage to a woman from the Philippines, and the topics can help anyone. I just happen to have experience with a woman from the Philippines. So here's, let's start here with 1 Corinthians 13:7. We see that love is more than an abstraction or ideal. It is action. 4 specific actions are always performed by true love. And the second is that love always trusts or believes all things. First, we should understand what this description of love does not mean. The fact that love believes all things does not make a loving person a dupe. Neither does it mean that love is naive, it's undiscerning, it's credulous. We're not talking about gullibility here. And a foolish lack of skepticism is not part of love. The Greek word translated as believes is a form of a verb that means to believe, place faith in, or trust. The word is a common one, used 248 times in the New Testament. Many times this word is found in contexts where belief is an expression of love. Those who will love will always believe in the other person. There is no second guessing or questioning of whether the person should be loved. Love is simply given. It is unconditional. The loved one does not need to perform anything or achieve a certain goal in order to be loved. Just as Christ loved his children unconditionally, he calls us to love others. Love is based on who he is, not on what others do. Now, some scholars suggest this teaching of love always trusts is directly connected to Paul's rebuke of lawsuits earlier in his letter. In chapter 6, we read of believers bringing lawsuits against one another in the local courts. And love that always trusts would not do such a thing. A person with God's type of love will always trust. That is, he will not be suspicious of the one he loves. He will be slow to believe any damaging news concerning the loved one, and will always give the benefit of the doubt. Whatever the situation, love is ready to trust. To trust someone means that you are ever ready to believe the best of him or her. The loved one may have a checkered past or be in some way undeserving of trust, yet true love is able to look past that and meet the need of the individual. Mistrust, caginess, and suspicion are at odds with godly love. If brothers and sisters in Christ would believe in one another, setting suspicion aside and extending unconditional love, what a difference it would make in the church. When our focus is on Christ, we can show his love to meet the needs of others. The final verse, as we wrap it up here from gotquestions.org, the final verse of 1 Corinthians 13 lists 3 things that will always remain. They are faith, hope, and love. The Christian never be without these gifts. His nature is to believe and to love. So that's the end of this article. I've got them all that I've done so far in a playlist on YouTube called Love. So today, what does it mean that love always trusts? It's important to keep learning about love. For those of you that want to be married or are married, love is, you really can't get lazy with love, because there's going to be many opportunities to show love in many different ways, and it can be taxing because it's not always reciprocated. at least not like we think it should be. But you know what? We have to love anyway, especially if we want to have marriage that lasts. So please keep watching videos here. We'll talk about love as we also talk about finding love beyond the sea.